Porygon is probably one of the most interesting Pokemon that exists. Previously in this series, we've talked about a few concepts linked to marketing, such as differentiation and market segmentation. When analyzing Porygon, it clearly falls into both of these categories. In terms of Generation 1 alone, Porygon is by far the most differentiated and unique Pokemon, with even its Pokédex stating it is a Pokemon made entirely from program code. However, I would argue that this extreme uniqueness came at a cost. As with all Pokemon being based off some type of animal, Porygon stands alone. But did this hurt its popularity? I don't think so. Porygon is a virtual Pokemon. Its design is based off early 3D animation models, which primarily consisted of polygons, hence the name Porygon. Its concept, then, does not have the same relatability other Pokemon such as Pikachu or Arcanine have. Therefore, its extreme uniqueness came at the cost of relatability. But one may not necessarily be better than the other. Rather, they all have their own advantages in the greater vacuum of Pokemon as a whole. Throughout the years, Porygon has gone many new forms. Forms such as Porygon 2 or Porygon Z. These are all meant to fit that concept Porygon was built around, the concept of code, or more specifically technology, ever-evolving technology. And because technology is always changing, new forms of Porygon were created to fit that theme of code that's rapidly becoming more and more advanced. So Porygon's differentiation obviously played a huge role in making it stand out, which is the core of what marketing is. And there's no doubt that this extreme differentiation aided in its marketability. But along with this, its in-game attainability also affected how it was perceived. Porygon is only obtainable in one location through one gimmick, the Rocket Game Corner. This is done by saving up enough coins so that you can buy Porygon at Celadon City. Of course, you need a coin case first, which just makes the whole process even harder to go through. But making a Pokemon scarce is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can make them be perceived to be more valuable because of its rarity, but on the other hand, if you make the Pokemon too difficult to obtain, it could destroy its popularity. Porygon is in that perfect middle ground. It's not obtained through a trade evolution, which a lot of early generation players didn't have access to, but instead obtained through hard work and consistency, which is the next marketing principle. In marketing psychology, there's a phenomenon known as the IKEA effect. The idea being, people like the things that they had to work hard to earn. This is why we value cars more that we had to save up to buy, as opposed to ones we just readily get. Porygon being only obtainable from the Rocket Game Corner, and making it such that you need to earn 9,999 coins or 6,500 coins first, depending on the game you play, makes the player need to work before they can earn Porygon, which in turn makes us value it more. Competitively, Porygon is also pretty good. Its vast move pool and eventual stat upgrade from Porygon 2 and Porygon Z allowed for a diverse array of sets that could be run. By far the best Porygon was Porygon Z, who got quite a boost in popularity thanks to its presence in UU. But with that said, the major hurdle that affects Porygon and its popularity is the deep controversy associated with it. Despite being one of the most unique Pokemon, Porygon has been unceremoniously shunned from the anime for reasons many find extremely unfair. During the anime's run, there have been a few episodes that stirred up controversy, but none have managed to cause as much backlash as episode 38 of the first season of Pokemon, which features Ash and his team going inside a computer to stop Team Rocket. The notorious episode begins with a disaster at the Pokemon Center, with trainers complaining that Pokemon they've sent through the transfer machine are not being received. Upon learning of this, Ash and his friends try to help Nurse Joy solve the problem. No problem is identified with the system, forcing the team to conclude that there is a virus of some sort that has infected it. However, as they soon discover, it's not a virus that has entered the system, it's Team Rocket. To stop Team Rocket's plans, Ash, his friends, and a Porygon enter the cyber world within the computer. There, they finally find Team Rocket, who have set up a blockade to prevent the transfer of Pokeballs. Unaware that Ash and his buddies are in the system, Nurse Joy installs an antivirus software to the computer, and it's so powerful that it aims to destroy not only Team Rocket, but also Ash and his friends. The antivirus program attacks using missiles, which everyone is able to evade by jumping onto Porygon's back. Though some missiles still lock onto them, Pikachu destroys them with an electric shock that triggers bright, rapidly flashing lights. Eventually, Ash and his friends and Team Rocket are finally able to escape. Throughout the episode, there are these lurid, flashing lights, which for the most part tie in with the cyber theme. However, things get excessive when Pikachu uses Thunderbolt to destroy the missiles. The flashing lights fill almost the entire screen and last for a few seconds, making the experience quite intense. It was enough to cause serious health complications in many viewers, most of which were children. Hundreds complained that they felt nauseous, dizzy, they got headaches after being exposed to the scene, while others were even struck with seizures and convulsions, with some losing consciousness. Over 600 viewers in Japan required an ambulance, with over 100 eventually being hospitalized. It was an unprecedented event that exposed Pokemon to heaps of negative press, and it very well had the potential to crush the franchise's growth right when they were beginning to enjoy worldwide popularity. Following the event, Nintendo's stock value fell sharply, and the anime was yanked off the air for 4 months. Though the scandal rocked Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, it did teach a valuable lesson to animators regarding the dangers of flashing lights and their potential to cause seizures. The episode has never received an English adaptation, and furthermore, Porygon and its evolutionary line were prohibited from appearing in the anime and movies. Following the scandal, Porygon caught the bulk of the blame, and an outsider would be led to believe that something about the Pokemon caused the controversial incident to occur. However, many Pokemon fans feel the blame has been falsely assigned, as Porygon had little to do with the incident that caused its ban from the anime. Nevertheless, to shield the series mascot, Pikachu, from the fallout, it took the blame. Whether this is fair or not is debatable, but it was likely the move that saved the franchise from an early collapse. Porygon has joined a list of a handful of Pokemon who have been banned due to some controversy surrounding them. However, of all the Pokemon, Porygon is by far the least deserving. Throughout the episode in question, the Porygon is nothing but helpful and continually saves the team from danger. Most importantly, Porygon had nothing to do with the flashing. It was neither the source, that was Nurse Joy, or the trigger of the lights, which was Pikachu's Thunderbolt attack. But despite Porygon's innocence, it has been labeled as the cause of the disaster, which is understandable on some level, as the episode was named after it, which eternally links it to this event. Furthermore, directing the blame where it should rightfully go, at Pikachu, could have been a franchise-killing move, as Pikachu is undeniably one of the most effective mascots of all time. Therefore, Porygon, who is relatively unknown, served as a better fall guy. Fans of the series know better than to point the finger at Porygon, and it appears that there were some folks at the Pokemon Company who felt the same way too. In 2020, they made a tweet simply reading, "Porygon did nothing wrong," which was sent by the company's official Twitter, though it was deleted immediately. Fortunately, Pokemon was able to recover after this controversy that could have easily ended it. Nevertheless, Episode 38 continues to be frequently scrutinized in public, though the finger is never pointed at the real culprit of the flashing lights. This could be because of ignorance, but the more likely reason is that the Pokemon Company could not put the blame on their mascot, the face of their franchise. As such, this scandal fatally damaged the marketability of Porygon, as since this has occurred, it has gotten almost no appearances in the anime, no overwhelming appearances in any games, and has been basically swept under the rug to prevent people from remembering or speaking about the event. It's a shame, because Porygon was by far the most unique Pokemon in Generation 1, one that stood out way beyond any other Pokemon, simply by its design and concept.